All right, let's talk about something that's running behind the scenes of your digital life pretty much all the time. Ever wonder how everything seems to happen instantly? Well, behind so many of those real-time experiences is this invisible engine, this absolute superhighway for data called Apache Kafka. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see what makes it tick.
I mean, really think about it for a second. How does your music app just know the perfect song to play next? Or how does your bank manage to flag a sketchy charge the very instant it happens? It all comes down to one thing: processing information the moment it's created. And that right there is the core challenge of the modern internet.
You see, every single click, every purchase, every like, every message we send, it all creates this nonstop stream of data. And for companies today, this isn't some gentle little river. It's a massive, overwhelming flood of information. And the thing is, it never, ever stops.
So you have this constant data flood, and it presents this huge challenge, right? How do you possibly manage, process, and make sense of millions of different events happening every single second without just being completely buried by it all?
Well, the old ways of doing things, collecting data in batches once a day, they just don't cut it anymore. It's way too slow. What we really need is a system that was built from the ground up for this kind of insane, high-speed traffic, a brand new kind of data highway.
And that is exactly what Apache Kafka is. It's the superhighway built specifically to handle these modern, real-time data streams. It's designed to connect all the different moving parts of a company's entire tech world. Okay, so that's the official definition. And yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful. Let's translate. Distributed just means it runs across a bunch of computers at once. So if one goes down, no big deal. The highway stays open. And high throughput, that's just a fancy way of saying it can handle an absolutely unbelievable amount of traffic. We're talking millions, sometimes billions of events per second. So here's a much simpler way to think about it. Kafka is like the central nervous system for data. It sits right in the middle. It takes in data from all kinds of event sources, things like your clicks or payments, and then it reliably delivers that data to any other system that needs it, like a fraud detection engine or a live dashboard. And that group of servers in the middle, that's what we call a Kafka cluster.
Okay, so let's pop the hood and see how this thing actually works. I mean, what are the lanes, the on-ramps, the off-ramps of this data highway? Let's get into the mechanics. First thing you need to know, data isn't just tossed onto this highway randomly. Nope. It's all neatly organized into these dedicated lanes called topics. So you might have one topic for all the user clicks, a totally separate one for payment transactions, and maybe a third for inventory updates. It just keeps all the different kinds of traffic from crashing into each other.
Now, how does Kafka get that incredible speed and avoid traffic jams? Well, this is where it gets really, really clever. Each topic, each lane, can be split into multiple parallel sublanes. We call these partitions. This is so cool because it allows different systems to process all that data at the exact same time. It's the secret sauce to handling massive scale. The more partitions you have, the more work you can do in parallel. Simple as that.
So who's actually using this highway? Well, there are two main players. You've got producers. Those are the on-ramps. They're the applications that are sending or producing data and putting it into a topic. And then you have the consumers. They're the off-ramps. They're the applications that read or consume that data to do something useful with it.
But what happens if there's just way too much traffic for one single off-ramp to handle? Kafka has this brilliant solution called consumer groups. Just think of it like opening up a whole bunch of toll booths for the same exit. Each consumer in that group takes care of a different partition, a different sublane, which lets them all work together to process a massive amount of data incredibly fast. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but where is this highway actually being used in the real world? Well, it turns out Kafka is the backbone for some of the biggest companies you and I interact with literally every single day. I mean, just look at how versatile it is. In banking, it's powering instant fraud detection. In e-commerce, that's how you're tracking your package in real time. On social media, it's the engine behind your live newsfeed. The pattern here is pretty clear. Wherever data is flowing continuously, Kafka probably has a role to play.
Let's just take Netflix as an example. They process trillions, that's trillions with a T, of events per day using Kafka. Every single time you pause, play, or rate a movie, that little event flows through Kafka to help power their real-time recommendation engine. It's wild.
Or think about companies like Uber and PayPal. They are relying on Kafka to process millions upon millions of transactions and payments securely and, more importantly, instantly. For them, the speed and the rock-solid reliability of this data highway are absolutely critical.
So, what's the big deal? What makes Kafka so different from the older tech that came before it? This right here is the key aha moment. See, Kafka doesn't just deliver a message and then forget about it. It stores the messages. This means you can go back in time and replay data streams from the past. It's literally like a time machine for your data. And that's something the older systems just flat out can't do. It's not just a delivery pipe. It's a pipe, a storage system, and a processing engine all rolled into one.
All right, so as we start to land the plane here, let's nail down the most important things to remember about why Kafka has become such a massive deal in our modern digital world. Just remember these 4 things. 1. Kafka is way more than just a messaging system. It is the central backbone for real-time data. 2. It's the thing that enables all those instant experiences, from fraud detection to live recommendations. 3. It was built from day one to handle massive, global-level scale. And 4, it has totally changed the game for how we build applications that can react to the world as it happens. This quote right here just says it all. In today's world, data is always flowing, continuously. It never stops. And that's exactly why Kafka has become the default, go-to choice for almost any modern system you can think of. So the foundation, this incredible data highway, it's already been laid. It's already powering the world as we know it. The really exciting question now is, what are we, the innovators, the builders, the creators, going to build with it next?